What is first aid? First aid is the initial medical care given to a person who has been sick or injured person or fallen ill. It can be administered in any situation, from the home and workplace to outdoor settings like sports fields, parks and beaches. First aid is designed to provide immediate help before professional medical help arrives, but it is not a substitute for proper medical attention. Types of basics first aid. First aid is a critical skill that everyone should know, as it can be used in an emergency medical to help save a person's life. It involves the use of basic medical techniques and knowledge to assess, treat and prevent injuries or illnesses. There are several types of first aid that people can learn, based on the severity and type of serious injury or illness. Immediate medical steps in first aid training. Treatment given immediate steps is the next step after learning the basic principles of first aid. It is important to understand how to identify and treat injuries or illnesses quickly and effectively to reduce long-term pain and suffering, as well as potential health risks. Full medical treatment begins with recognizing an emergency situation, such as a severe illness or injury, and responding with timely care before seeking medical attention. When to seek professional help in emergency. When it comes to treating minor injuries and illnesses, many people are comfortable with self-care. However, there are times when professional help is needed in order to avoid serious health complications. Knowing when to seek medical attention can be difficult, so it's important to understand the best course of action for different types of conditions. In general, if the condition does not show signs of improvement within a few days or if the symptoms worsen over time, then professional help should be sought out. Safety tips for first aiders. First aid is an important part of healthcare. Knowing how to properly administer first aid in an emergency situation can save lives and prevent further injury. Whether you are a medical professional or just someone who wants to be prepared for any potential accidents, these safety tips for first aiders will help ensure the best possible outcome. First and foremost, always take proper precautions when performing first aid. Before assessing the injured person's condition, make sure to wear protective equipment, gloves and eye protection if needed. Resources for learning first aid. First aid is a crucial skill to have in any situation. It involves providing medical assistance for sudden illnesses and injuries before professional medical help arrives. Knowing how to act quickly and effectively in an emergency can be the difference between life and death. In order to ensure everyone is prepared for an emergency, it's important to have access to reliable resources that provide guidance on first aid techniques. Fortunately, there are plenty of online and offline materials available that can help you learn the basics of first aid. For example, many Red Cross organizations offer courses on basic first aid skills, such as CPR and dressing wounds properly. Conclusion. The conclusion of this video on the definition of first aid can be summarized in one sentence. First aid is the immediate care given to someone who is injured or ill. First aid should always be administered by a trained professional whenever possible. Providing proper first aid can mean the difference between life and death for someone who has been injured or fallen ill suddenly. It is important for everyone to understand the basics of first aid so that they know what steps to take when confronted with an emergency situation.